Good evening, everyone. My name is Cindy Smoke. I'm Executive Director of Sport Tyler, and I want to welcome you to the 11th Annual Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award Banquet. Thank you all for being here. I'd like to give a special thank you to all our sponsors. You've seen their names up on the screen. Obviously, we couldn't do this without them. We appreciate their long time support, and to our new sponsors as well this year. You make this happen, and we can't say thank you enough. So let's give a round of applause to all of our sponsors. And I'd like to personally thank the past and current board members and chairs and chair-elects for Sport Tyler. They helped me out tremendously all year long. They're a huge part of this event. And at this time, I'd like for any past, present Sport Tyler board members to please stand up and be recognized. And one more thing, because I don't get to do this very often, but I do have some family here, and those of you that know me well know how important my family is to me, and so I'd like to introduce them at this time. My daughter Jennifer is here, if y'all could just stand or wave. And many of you know this. I'm going to embarrass him, but for the first time in several years, I get to say, and her fiance, Daniel Golden. My sister Kim Primos is here, my cousin Robert Jolly, and his son Christopher. Thank you all. Thank you to Henry Bell and Scott Martinez, my bosses, who allow me to do what I do, and I love my job, and they give me full reign, and I really appreciate their guidance and leadership. And to my coworkers who put up with me daily, and they help me out tremendously, not only with this event, but all year long. Would you guys please stand in the back and wave? They're back over here. We're here tonight to celebrate 5 fantastic guys who've had incredible seasons. This is my favorite part. I watch these kids all year long. We do weekly Player of the Week, and to meet them in person, I always feel like it's Christmas again, right after Christmas. We're going to talk more about these kids in just a little bit, but let's welcome them and their families. Now to introduce our MC for the evening, my current chair for Sport Tyler and an employee of Christus, I'd like to introduce Mike Hines.
Good evening. You know, as I was thinking about this, I began to think about, what can draw a crowd. A good preacher, a good athletic team, or a sports specialist who's excelled in his or her sport. Earl, thank you very much for getting so many of your friends together tonight. Let's give it up for... I'm going to give you one of them that just came to me, but last year Cindy asked me at the last moment, she says, can you go to the airport and pick up the mother, the grandmother, and the father of B.J. Robinson, the running back for the University of Texas? And I said, I'd be glad to go. She gave me his phone number, so I called the granddad, introduced myself. I'm going to be picking you up at the airport. And she goes, okay. And I said, my name is Mike. I'm with Sport Care. And he goes, but how will I know who you are amongst all those people in the airport? How will I know you? And I took a deep breath and I said, I'm tall, dark, and handsome. Just look around and you'll be able to find me. So the next night I go to pick up the family about 8:30, 8:45, and they're coming off. Well, the mom, it was no mistaking who she was. She was dressed in burnt orange. And she was helping her mother come off. And the dad was carrying all the carry-on luggage and just struggling. So I walked up to him and I said, hello, my name is Mike. I'm here to escort you to the hotel. Next thing I know, he's just scanning me from foot to head and back and forth. He says, no, you're not. I said, yes, sir, my name is Mike. I'm with Sport Tyler. He says, no, you're not. I said, why do you say that? You're not tall, you're certainly not dark, and you ain't handsome. And I said, well, that be said, I'm taking you to the hotel. And we loaded up. The next morning when I went to go pick them up, they changed my name from Mike to TDH. 2 weeks after the event was over, I got a thank you note written from their family that said, to TDH Hines, thank you for a wonderful event. So I have a new name. But so it was exciting. And let me just tell you again about an event that brings people together. My daughter and her husband came last year. He is an avid Longhorn. And he got to meet all the athletes. And so they got to connect with the Robinson family. And she called tonight to say that she is having dinner with the mom on Saturday in Dallas. That's how long these relationships extend. And it's been, and that I said, that's what this is all about. Our guest speaker for tonight is no stranger to Tyler and to many sports enthusiasts. Brian Jones was our MC last year, and we've been looking for him to return. He's a former NFL linebacker for the Colts and the New Orleans Saints. He worked as a college football studio analysis for CBS Sports. He's been a featured guest on College Football Today on CBS. He served as the Longhorn Sport Network sideline reporter and for football games. He hosted Longhorn Sports Center with Mac Brown and Rick Barnes. He spent 2 years on Fox Sports Southwest, 5 years with CBS Sports Radio as a co-host. He hosted a national evening program called Mojo with Chris Moore, and another one during the evening on CBS Sports that was heard on national TV 24/7 in 24 major market areas. Here's the important thing about Brian. Graduated with a degree in corporate communication from UTA. He was all Southwest Conference linebacker his senior year in 1990. He led his team with 116 tackles, 17 of those were solo, and he forced 5 fumbles. He grew up in Lubbock. He lives in Wellington, Florida, but I've heard he may be moving his zip code to Texas. So we're looking forward to that. Brian was also co-host of The Better Man Show, a men's lifestyle, health, and fitness show. It previously aired nationally. That may explain, after delays at the airport, delays getting on and off of planes, and finally getting here at 10 o'clock at night, that he found himself 8:30 this morning in a yoga class. He keeps preaching what he knows about. And so it's extremely important to have him here to recognize these athletes. So please welcome Brian Jones.
Every girl crazy about his shine as me.
What is happening, Tyler? I see y'all moved further away from me than that intimate setting we've been enjoying over the last few years. I know y'all scared. That's all right. I'm going to still be able to get to some of you. Where my mayor? Where's Mayor Warren? Any of you athletes need motivation prior to the game, just go see that dude. I can't repeat the motivational speech he gives me every year, but you'll like it. I'm sure your coaches have said it a few times, so you will not be embarrassed. It is great to be back in Tyler. Earl, always great to see you, man, and the family, and understand Tyler's adding to the family, or has added to the family, so that's why he's not here with Christian and you and your beautiful family. Always wonderful to be in your company, and always superb to be in Tyler. The hospitality that you bestow upon me and these athletes who we're going to honor tonight is second to none, and Cindy is just wonderful. Cindy's right about watching all these games, man. She'll hit you up on that email. Where are your votes? Why haven't you voted? We're waiting on your ballot. She's strict. She wants that information when she wants it, and she gets it. So Cindy, thank you for all you do and making this happen, the entire Sport Tyler group and all the sponsors. Where's my man Jim Teeter? Raise your hand, Jim. There he is. always supplies me with a nice vehicle, and once Mike picks me up. And so I appreciate that, Jim, and Tyler BMW for all you do. And this is a wonderful venue. This is great. Clearly, or obviously, we were here earlier today doing a little walkthrough, and this is magnificent. Nothing about the Willowbrook Country Club, but this is pretty cool. So glad we've been able to expand, and the Brookshire Convention Center is really nice. We're going to honor these 5 talented athletes who are all finalists for the Earl Campbell, the 11th annual Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award. But before we get into tonight's program, I want to call up to the stage Shannon Dacus. She's going to lead us in tonight's invocation.
Good evening. I'm feeling a little outnumbered coming from a family of Aggies, but I know...
No. That's all right, Shannon. I got the invocation. I got the Jesus wept. I got it. No, how you going to start with that?
I had to start out with that. I know the Leatherwoods are here. They got my back. And Ed, where are you? Come on, Ed. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Thank you, Ed Broussard.
Hey, Ed.
My name is Shannon Dacus, and it's a privilege to be here with such a good-looking group of people this evening. As your current Chamber of Commerce Board Chair, I have the privilege of giving the invocation this evening, and so I'd like to ask you to bow your heads with me for a word of prayer. God of wisdom, power, and compassion, we are gathered here tonight to honor Earl Campbell. We honor him this evening by recognizing 5 young men who exemplify the qualities that made Mr. Campbell a superior athlete, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. These 2 are young men of principle. They know well the value of integrity, hard work, determination, and the value of overcoming obstacles. As we gather tonight to celebrate these young men and honor Earl Campbell's legacy, remind each of us to practice those virtues in every aspect of our own lives. Remind us to give thanks for our victories and to show grace and determination in the face of defeat. Encourage us to always give our best as the great Earl Campbell and these young men inspire us to do this evening. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
Hook 'em. You should have warned me, Cindy. I would have had some material ready for her. All right, it's eating time. Let's eat, enjoy your dinner, and then we will get the program restarted. And also make sure you take a look at those auction items out there, folks. We got some pretty good stuff. That continues to just grow and grow each year. And make sure you take a look at some of that stuff. Enjoy your dinner.
Howdy. Good evening, everybody. It's an honor to be here tonight. My name is Richard Solomon, the chair of the Tyler Rose Scholarship Committee, and it's my honor on behalf of Earl and Christian and Tyler and their family to present to you tonight our scholarship recipient, Miss Mackenzie Peary. Hang on, dear. Let me tell them about you first. But you can come stand next. You can come up here and stand next to me. I've been doing this since day one. Some of you thought, gosh, is there somebody else that can do this? Every year, we look at the people that are students we give the scholarship to, go, oh my gosh, how could there be another better student? I'm here to tell you tonight that Mackenzie is an absolutely incredible individual. Not only is she a fantastic student, but just a better human being. So let me tell you about Mackenzie, but before I do that, for all those who have been on the scholarship chair, both past and present, will you please stand? Okay, Kristen, I guess thank you very much. A special thank you to Dana Durman and Kyle Penny at the East Texas Communities Foundation, who handles the administration of our scholarship and also who takes care of our endowment. Dana, Kyle, thank you so much. Without your help and your guidance and your support, this would not be possible. Thank you for that. So tonight, this young lady was a valedictorian of her high school, Chapel Hill Bulldogs. Her grade point average was 4.69. She was her Senate president. She was a class officer. She excelled in 3 sports at Chapel Hill. Basketball was her favorite. She received multiple awards for her participation in sports. As part of her Senate, she organized things such as the Veterans Day program and other projects for the school. But when we read the references from her teachers about the impact of this young lady on her peers, it was incredible. Things like the most notable student I have ever met in my entire career. So not only was she a fantastic and super student and gave all of her time to her fellow classmates and was involved, but she did 3 sports: basketball, track and field, and cross country. On top of that, she always volunteered and worked at local establishments, but she volunteered at her church, at Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She did things there. It was always about other people. So that is a lot of what you read in your program tonight. But let me tell you about this young lady. And for me, it gave me chills. You could hear me say some things I've never said before as your scholarship chair. This young lady was born early with a special health issue, so she was a neonatal baby. She grew up in a family of 4 other siblings, with her mom and dad in and out of jail. She lived in 27 different homes during her growing up years. She didn't have a father around. She would live with aunts, grandparents, and other people during her child rearing age and high school age. Chapel Hill was the first school, for the first time in her life, the 4 years that she was at Chapel Hill, that she was at the same school for the same year. So in spite of all those odds, this young lady was the top of her class. She was the most revered by her student body. She was the most revered by her teachers and her peers. And she came from that background, against all odds. The Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Scholarship recipient is the epitome of that young man right there, Earl Campbell. Persistence, commitment, and great dedication. So for all of us on the scholarship committee, it was an easy decision. Somebody who's had that background, who said, I don't want to be like that. I want to do something with my life. I'm proud to say that she entered Texas A&M Corpus Christi as a nursing student. Whoop! She wants to specialize in neonatal so she could also infect people that affected her when she was a young lady, and their families, and their loved ones that they just had. And I might add, she had a 4.0 her first semester. It is with great honor on behalf of Earl Campbell, Tyler and Christian and the Earl Campbell family and the Scholarship Committee that we honor and recognize this year's recipient, Mackenzie Peary.
Thank you. It is with great honor that I'm here and welcomed by so many guests. I would just like to say it is with a great amount of gratitude and appreciation to the Scholarship Committee, to Earl Campbell, of course, as well as his family and the guests that are here. Without his generosity, I don't know where I'd be, and so I'm very, very thankful that with his generosity that I get to enter the nursing program at Texas A&M Corpus Christi in the spring, 2025. And so I would just like to say thank you for all of you who are here and who get to celebrate, and so thank you.
One more second. Stay right there. I'm also going to do something I've never done. I want to tell you something else I learned about this young lady. She's the first one in her family ever to go to college. And on her application of her essay, which our essays require them to tell about a character moment, her character moment was telling a stadium full of 500 plus people, football stadium, her testimony as a new Christian young lady. Earl, Christian, this is the kind of young lady that's joining your family. So praise God for that. Okay, thank you all. Okay, thanks. Ryan Jones, where are you? Whoop!
What is that stuff y'all pick out of the sky? Let me see it again. Is there a doctor in the house? He's about to faint. What's up, Richard? Good to see you. Yeah.
Good luck.
Mackenzie, wow. You go, girl. That is amazing. Amazing. Congratulations to you. And Richard, thank you. That was beautifully done and stated. All right, folks, it's me again. And before I get to our gracious hosts, I want to give a shout out to Debbie and Susan with Dr. I for all that they do for the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award. They are cool. Miss Debbie and Susan, they work very diligently to make this thing happen, as does the namesake of our event, Earl Campbell. The 11th annual Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award. We're going to hear from Earl in just a moment, but let me give you a little background on him in case you don't know. Earl was born and raised in Tyler, Texas. He went to John Tyler High School, where he won a state championship his senior year. He went on to play at the University of Texas in Austin. I guess that's UTA for Mike Hines. Just joking, Mike. He won the Heisman Trophy in 1977. Earl's NFL career began with the Houston Oilers and Bum Phillips, and today he is in the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, we play this video of Earl's highlights every year, and they never get old. He was such a tenacious, violent football player. And I'm glad I didn't play linebacker back then, because he was formidable. So please enjoy Mr. Earl Campbell's highlight reel.
Tyler, Texas, the rose capital of the world, and where the legend of Earl Christian Campbell took root.
I finally made up my mind that that's what I want to do. I want to be a running back.
His senior year, Earl led John Tyler High School to its first state championship in 43 years. In the finals at the Houston Astrodome, Campbell scored the winning touchdown. Earl had fast become a high school phenom and one of the top recruits in the country. Coach Darrell Royal did his best to help the Tyler Rose flourish. Earl had plenty of support in Austin, but there was always one piece missing. Campbell got himself in top physical condition with the goal of raising college football's most prestigious hardware, the Heisman Trophy. But the night before the 8th game of his senior season, he was bedridden with a 104-degree fever.
Coach Akers was trying to make a decision on about playing or not playing, and I said, I'm gonna play football. And I played football with it.
Earl ran for 173 yards, scored 3 touchdowns, and introduced himself to Bevo, the Texas Longhorn mascot.
He didn't run into Bevo, he knocked Bevo on his ass. Bevo just went straight to the ground and then turned his head and went, "Who are you?" And said, "Meet Mr. Campbell. I've done this to a lot of guys."
Heisman Trophy, and it goes to Earl Campbell of the University of Texas.
You know, when I was a kid and I'd get in trouble, I'd always say, "Hey, Mom, I'm in trouble," you know, so, "Mom, I'm in trouble, I don't have anything to say."
Earl would not have to travel far to play in the NFL. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers traded the first pick in the 1978 draft to a playoff contender, the Houston Oilers.
My wife calls me, she said, "Isn't it great?" I said, "Well, isn't what great?" She said, "We got Earl Campbell." I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "You hadn't heard? We were traded for the #1 pick." Right there, I started screaming, "Hey!" They thought I was having a heart attack in the hotel. I could not believe it.
Opening day 1978. Campbell proved to his coaching staff that he had no problem running forward on his very first play as a pro.
Pass ready, retreats to throw. Quick out to Campbell, has a blocker in front at the 30, 35, 40, 45, he's open. 50, 45, 40, 35, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Earl Campbell.
Campbell, he has great speed, and he has tremendous strength.
I can remember those plays because that defensive end would go out, and that'd leave me on the secondary, you know, and I'd have such a steam going. No secondary wanted, one guy wanted that.
If there were any football fans left in America who didn't know Earl Campbell's name, they were about to learn it.
Touchdown, Houston, Earl Campbell. What a game. And the crowd is beside itself. Look at
The Oilers were on the brink of one of the great wins in franchise history. All they needed was a first down.
On 2nd and 8. Campbell just out runs everyone to the right. Look out. He's gone. He's gone all the way. Puts his head down. 80-yard touchdown. This is over. What a show this man has put on tonight. What you've seen tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is a truly great football player. In the late moments, take total personal command of a game.
I looked at that sideline. It looked like it was 300 yards away. I was saying, "Ah, damn, I'm gonna get back."
Look at those statistics. 199 yards, 28 rushes, 4 touchdowns. An extraordinary personal performance, an extraordinary team performance, and our congratulations to an exceptional Houston football team.
Earl Campbell was not a cowboy, but on Thanksgiving Day in 1979, he beat the Oilers' in-state rival and solidified his status as a Texas folk hero.
I thought it was kind of girlish for one guy to tackle me. I mean, I wanted to have a bunch of them.
I see him run over people, and then I see him run around, and I never saw him get caught from behind.
When there was 4 minutes left of the game, we were ahead and we had the ball, it was over. You know, he ran so low that there was nothing to tackle.
In 1980, the Oilers rode Earl Campbell. He carried the ball 373 times for 1,934 yards. But when the offense began to sputter, Bum Phillips heard criticism that he was overworking Campbell.
Believe me, every time Earl carried the ball, he wanted to carry it. And he's so good, if he wants to carry it, you let him carry it. And he never got hurt. He hurt people. He didn't get hurt.
In the playoffs, the Oilers were stymied by the Oakland Raiders. 4 days before Thanksgiving, Bum Phillips paid one last tribute to the greatest running back he ever had. In 18 previous games with the Saints, Campbell had never carried the ball more than 14 times. On this day, he ran 35 times for 160 yards. When it was over, Phillips had seen enough. Earl Campbell left the game a humbled saint, but he will always be remembered as the best of Bum's bunch. the greatest Oiler of all time.
I never once dreamed that I would one day get voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I wish there was some way where all those guys involved in that offensive line that I could bring to Canton, Ohio with me. Unfortunately, Bum Phillips won't play y'all playing fair.
Bum had been the father Earl was missing. He traded up to draft him, turned the Texas hero into an NFL star, gave him one last chance to shine in New Orleans, and presented him in Canton.
I've got a lot of memories, been around a long time. When I stop and think about it, Earl Campbell, you are my greatest memory of all.
The one thing I'll always remember about this day, beyond football, is that my daddy, B.C. Campbell, is up there in heaven, I believe, with all his buddies. And he's telling him what a great son he had. Look at my son, I know he can handle it. And I thank you all so much for everything.
Folks, Mr. Earl Campbell.
That young lady that was up there that's won the scholarship, I couldn't help but think about myself trying to accomplish something. And I used to be just like her, 17, 18-year-old in Tyler, Texas, and I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that, and I put a lot of faith in the good Lord, but I tell you what, I put a lot of faith in myself and a lot of work I did on myself. It takes a lot to be the best. These three young men that's up for the award that I had a chance to meet tonight, I hope they remember days like this, because I used to sit where they're sitting and watching Jim Brown and the Walter Paytons and the Tony Dorsetts. And when I got my shot, I said, you guys want to play? I got something I got to prove. I never wanted to come back to Tyler, Texas when I went to the University of Texas to play. Fortunately, I played with guys that helped me win the Heisman Trophy. I had a shot there. I took advantage of it. I believe I was the first one out of 11 kids to go to school, and I got a bachelor's degree in speech communication from the University of Texas. And then I had to go play for the Oilers. You know, anybody, they say, can be the best in college, so you have to prove yourself again. I just happened to play with a lot of guys make me look good. I never really did that much. It just looked like I did. But I cannot tell you all how proud I am to be from Tyler, Texas, but on top of that, it's not very many people can come back home standing up, but coming back home and having an award like this named after you. And, you know, seeing young guys like those three young men that I've had a chance to meet, I hope they remember this, because somebody paved the way for you to get to where you are. And I look at it as somebody paved the way for me to get to where I am. No matter what, it takes a lot of hard work. But being respectful and being different. My mother told me one time, out of the 11 kids she had, we was messing around in the house, and she was telling somebody, I don't know what it is about Earl, but he's different. And that difference was I was dreaming about what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. And I got a shot, and I took advantage of it. And you young men is going to have those same opportunities, and you got to just remember, always put something back into life. Don't always be a taker. So I wish you the best of luck to one that's going to win the trophy. Unfortunately, we a little one soldier light because Tyler decided to add on to his family. So last week this time, he has another boy. He says that's enough, so he got 2 boys and 2 girls. And we celebrating that. Then Christian came and Lisa came from out of town because they didn't want to celebrate Christmas in America. They had to go across the water. So Lisa tells my wife, I'm gonna have a baby girl. So we got another one coming into the family. So things are going to be great, and we appreciate you guys coming. And I would like to tell you, the people of Tyler, Texas that are sitting in the audience, thank you. But it's one person that's kind of different. A guy named Brad Brookshire. I mean, you have a chance to be around people like that in your life, and you know, they're like you, Earl. They give back, and you know, you have a chance to meet like Jim Teeter, and I didn't know anything about the BMW man, and I had a chance to be with him, and he got friends, but it's so many others contributed to this great night. And I want you all to know I thank you all very much, and we appreciate the family, and let's keep it rolling. Thank you.
Thank you, Earl. Now let's meet the other stars of the evening. Would all the finalists please join me here on stage? We had 2 that could not make it, as you can tell, if you know anything about math. We will start with, can I say my favorite? Because he went to my alma mater. No, I can't do that. Jonathan Brooks, running back, University of Texas.
Running back, Texas. Brooks, a Doak Walker Award semifinalist and all Big 12 second-team selection by the conference's coaches and Associated Press, appeared in 11 games with 8 starts in his first career start against Wyoming. Brooks established a then career-high 164 rushing yards. Brooks rushed for 107 yards on 8 carries, including a 61-yard run. Brooks had a career day in the victory over number 24 Kansas, rushing for 218 yards on 21 carries, 10.4 yards per carry, including a 67-yard run with 2 touchdowns and a 23-yard reception. The sophomore established career highs with 187 carries for 1,139 yards and 10 touchdowns, while also catching 25 passes for 286 yards and 1 touchdown before sustaining an ACL injury during the 10th game of the season. His 1,139 rushing yards on the year are 14th most in a season in program history. Against Houston, Brooks established career best with 8 receptions for 51 yards to total 150 all-purpose yards, his 3rd consecutive game with 150-plus all-purpose yards at TCU. Brooks rushed 21 times for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns and caught 3 passes for 74 yards, including a career-long 73-yard reception that is the 5th longest for a Longhorn running back in program history. The Hallettsville, Texas native ranked 6th in the nation in rushing yards, 7th in rushing yards per game, and 6th in all-purpose yards. For his career, Brooks has rushed for 1,470 yards, the 34th most in program history, on 238 carries and 16 touchdowns. His parents, mother Jennifer Donovan, father, the late James Skip Brooks. Jonathan Brooks, running back, Texas.
Ollie Gordon II, running back, Oklahoma State.
Ollie Gordon II, running back, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State running back Ollie Gordon II wrapped up his sophomore season as the nation's best running back, winning the Doak Walker Award, unanimous All-American honors, and the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, while also receiving more votes for the Heisman Trophy than any other running back. Gordon led the nation in several major categories in 2023, including rushing yards, 1,732, yards from scrimmage, 2,062, 100-yard rushing games, 9, 150-yard rushing games, 5, 250-yard rushing games, 2, and carries of at least 20 yards, 21. He was second in rushing touchdowns with 21, total touchdowns 22, and all-purpose yards 2,062. He was also the only player in the country to eclipse 2,000 yards from the scrimmage this season. His performances against Kansas, West Virginia, and Cincinnati made him the only FBS player in the past 10 years with 250 scrimmage yards in 3 straight games. And his 282 rushing yards at West Virginia are the most of any FBS player in a game this past season. To close the regular season, he rushed for 164 yards and 3 touchdowns in a comeback win at Houston, and then put up 166 yards and a school record matching 5 rushing touchdowns against BYU to help send the Cowboys to the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. The only other Cowboy to score 5 rushing touchdowns in a game is Barry Sanders, and that tied the single game high for any FBS player in 2023. Gordon closed this season with 118 rushing yards and a touchdown against the best rushing defense and overall defense in the SEC, helping the Cowboys defeat Texas A&M in the Tax Act Texas Bowl. Parents, mother, Torona Smith, and Aunt Ella Smith. Ollie Gordon II, running back, Oklahoma State.
You know, first I want to thank God by far, for, allowing me to have the talent to get here. I want to thank my family for always supporting me. They always had my back the whole way. Our coaches, I want to thank them. Coach Watson right here, I want to thank him. He taught your boy a lot of stuff. But yeah, I want to congratulate y'all, everybody for being here. This is where a bunch of great athletes come. You saw the video, Mr. Earl Campbell. One of the greats. But, I just want to thank everybody. I'm thankful to be here.
I don't want the mic back. I got some questions for you. I was handing you the mic so I could ask some questions. He just started doing his thing.
My bad.
Today's athlete, America. Ollie, I joked Oklahoma State was sitting at 2-2. I said, Ollie Gordon went to the coach's office and, man, y'all tripping. Y'all need to give me the ball. Tell me that's exactly how it went down.
I mean, if you want to believe that, we can believe that.
I like your style. How'd it go down then? What happened? The turnaround of the season and when you started being fed the rock a lot more and it paid off?
We just took that bye week that we had after the South Alabama loss, and we just built as a team. And then we came out the next week, we lost, but we didn't let it get to us. We just went back to the drawing board as a team. And we just worked together the whole time.
I recall the BYU ball game. You're trying to clinch or at least stay alive for the Big 12 conference title game. And once again, they leaned on you. In that moment, were you thinking, I've got to pull this through for my team?
Looking at it, you got to play for your team, like you said. So, yes, sir, I looked at it that way.
You're returning to school, correct?
Yes, sir.
What is there left for Ollie Gordon to do? Because you did a lot, as I just stated in that video. Man, you had a phenomenal season.
Just do better than what I did this past season and grow as a person.
All right, Ollie Gordon II. Ashton Jeanty, running back, Boise State.
Ashton Jeanty, Running back, Boise State. The sophomore running back totaled 1,916 yards from scrimmage, averaging a nation best 159.6 yards from scrimmage per game. He had the same total for all-purpose yards, which ranked him second in the nation in all-purpose yards per game. Genty recorded 1,347 rushing yards, the most in the Mountain West, and had 569 receiving yards, the most of any running back in the country. He averaged 6.1 yards per carry and 13.2 yards per reception. He had 14 rushing touchdowns, 5 receiving touchdowns, and is the only player in the FBS with multiple rushing touchdowns of 50-plus yards and multiple receiving touchdowns of 50-plus yards. Genty forced a nation-high 106 missed tackles. He also tallied 981 rushing yards after contact, ranking 5th in the nation. He totaled 621 yards after catch, the 8th most of all FBS players and most among FBS running backs. Genty ran for 153 yards and a touchdown in the Mountain West Championship, leading Boise State to its 5th Mountain West title and 1st since 2019. Genty was named the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year and All Mountain West First Team. He was named First Team All-America by ESPN, USA Today, and College Football News. He garnered Second Team All-America honors from the Associated Press and Action Network, and Honorable Mention All-America from CBS Sports. Genty also received numerous accolades during the regular season, including Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week, Doak Walker Honor Roll, Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award Player of the Week honorable mention twice. His parents, Harry and Pamela Genty, Ashton Genty, running back, Boise State.
Ashton, where are your parents? They weren't here earlier when we introduced everyone's parents.
They right there.
Where's right there, man?
They waving right there. Go ahead, stand on,
Stand
Mom and
up.
Dad.
There they are. Okay. If you didn't follow Boise State's season, it was rough in the beginning. Then they lost their head coach, Andy Oliver. I shouldn't say they lost him. He was fired. And Spencer Danielson took over, and you guys thrived. What was the difference in Coach Danielson as opposed to Coach Avalos?
Man, it was just like a breath of fresh air. I mean, you could tell the difference around the building. I mean, staff, players, I mean, I'm talking everybody, equipment guys, I mean, everybody.
Dang, wait, hold on. Coach Avalos, you sucked. The equipment guys didn't like you. The players didn't like you. Wow, you may proceed, sir.
I mean, yeah. I ain't gonna say too much, but he had to go, man.
It's too late. You already said. If the equipment guys don't like you, you in trouble. They just send you out there naked. Like, yeah, man, you don't get no pass.
Yeah, but Coach D, man, he just came in and, you know, he just showed us all something different, man. A real genuine guy, and, you know, he cares more about us as people than as players, and, you know, just showing us love each and every single day. When you coach guys with that, you know, they're willing to play behind you and go hard for you each and every play.
How did he approach you and what was said, and give us some insight into that relationship you have with Coach Danielson?
Yeah, great relationship. I mean, ever since I walked into the building, he was one of the, you know, being a defensive coach, I mean, man, he's always showed me love, man, took me under his wing, man, invited me to church, any type of thing to build a relationship with me. But, you know, his thing is that he wanted to keep me there. I mean, it's no secret the way college football is going now with the transfer portal and all types of things. But he told me that, you know, I was a big piece, a big factor of this team, and that he wouldn't want to do it without me. And, you know, that just really stood out to me, and I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave with him saying something like that to me.
Boise State finished the season 8-6 somehow after standing with a losing record in November. They won the Mountain West. Take us into the, yeah, that deserves a clap because there was,
That was, I'm sure, probably not for you guys in that locker room, but us watching, whose job it is to critique you, that was the furthest thing from our mind, is Boise State would somehow get back into the mix. But you did. What was the mindset in that locker room? I understand the coaching change, so everyone's more at ease. But then to reel off the number of wins and end up with a conference championship, how'd that happen?
Man, it was a tough time for us as a team. We were in a dark place, but you know, it's a brotherhood. We all came together. We all talked to each other, uplifted each other, and you know, we really came together. And you know, love is bigger than anything, and you know, that's what that's what we showed this season, and how we came together and finished the season off, and were able to win a championship. I mean, it was really the love we had for each other that made us able to do that.
So the moral of the story, they had love for each other, just not for Coach Avalos. Okay. Ashton Genty. See the type of intel you get at the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award? They don't like their coach, they don't like their coach. They play like they don't like their coach. I had a few coaches I didn't like. Next, Jalen Milroe, quarterback, Alabama. Jalen Milroe, quarterback, Alabama. Milroe earned the starting quarterback role to start his sophomore campaign. He was selected as one of the Crimson Tide's permanent team captains. He earned second-team All-SEC recognition from the Associated Press. Milroe ranks second in the conference and fourth nationally in passer efficiency rating at 177.5. Milroe also averaged 10.4 yards per pass attempt to rank second in the conference and country. He completed 171 of 261 passes for 2,718 yards and 23 touchdowns with only 6 interceptions, and has also rushed 140 times for 468 yards and 12 scores, tied for fourth in the SEC and 24th nationally for rushing touchdowns at any position. He was a finalist for the Manning Award, selected as a semifinalist for the Maxwell Award presented each year to college football's top offensive player, and added to the watch list for the Maxwell after the LSU matchup. Named a semifinalist for the Davey O'Brien Award, given annually to the top quarterback in the country, and tabbed to the O'Brien Award midseason watch list following the Texas A&M contest. Named to the Manning Awards midseason watch list after the Arkansas matchup, and selected as one of the Davey O'Brien Great 8 of the week for his output against Texas A&M, LSU, Kentucky, and Auburn. He picked up Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Honor Roll recognition following Middle Tennessee, Texas A&M, Kentucky, and Auburn games, while being named the award's Player of the Week after the LSU game. Named SEC Offensive Player of the Week for his play against Middle Tennessee, LSU, and Auburn, and selected as one of the University of Alabama coaching staff's Offensive Players of the Week for his efforts against the Blue Raiders, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, LSU, and Auburn. His parents, Quentin and Lola Milroe. Jalen Milroe, quarterback, Alabama. They made a little news today, didn't they, Alabama? Just a little bit, just a little bit. Caden Salter, quarterback, Liberty. Caden Salter, quarterback, Liberty. Salter was a Maxwell Award semifinalist, National Player of the Year award. He was a Davey O'Brien quarterback class of 2023 member, was a Manning Award watch list selection. Salter is also a two-time Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award National Player of the Week. He is a four-time Conference USA Offensive Player of the Week. He is a 2023 Conference USA First Team All-Conference Player and is the 2023 Conference USA Most Valuable Player. He has a 15-2 career record as a starting quarterback, including 13-0 in 2023. Salter led the Flames to Liberty's first ever perfect regular season record in school history. Salter led the Flames to Liberty's first ever perfect regular season record in school history. He has 7 games passing for 225 or more yards, 11 games passing for 2 or more touchdowns, 4 100-yard rushing games, and 4 games rushing for multiple touchdowns. He leads all quarterbacks in Conference USA with 32 passing touchdowns. He is ranked second in Conference USA with 12 rushing touchdowns, ranks number 1 in Conference USA in passing efficiency. His national rankings included number 3 in passing yards per completion, 16.25, number 3 in rushing TDs by a quarterback, 12, number 3 in passing efficiency, 182.2, and number 3 in points responsible for, 264. Salter is also number 8 in rushing yards per carry, 6.68, and number 36 in total rushing yards, 1,089. His parents, Kenneth and Misty Salter. Caden Salter, quarterback, Liberty.
Caden was in the portal, and now he's out of the portal, staying at Liberty, coming off a fabulous season. I know it didn't end in which you and your guys in that locker room would have liked. Take us through that season. At what point did you know you guys were riding something special?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we really recognized. We just was going out there every week just fighting for each other, and we just fought to the end, and that's how we end up winning all these games. And I don't think we was really paying attention to like the record or nothing like that. We just knew that we had to go out every week and prepare to play like our last game.
We just went out there and they rolled the ball out, and we just ended up winning all these games. That's it. That's how easy it is, folks. It is not that easy. Coach Chadwell comes over from Coastal Carolina. What type of approach did Coach Caldwell have with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he basically came in and he stood on business, basically. Like, he just came in, he told us exactly what we was finna do, and that's what we did. He planned that we was going to go out there and win this conference. I mean, 13-0 never came out his mouth, but we went out there and we did that. We had a tragedy right before the season of a brother that passed. So we knew that we had to go out there every week and fight for him and his family.
Liberty is definitely on the football map. We pay attention to them now. A lot of that credit goes to the former coach, Hugh Freeze, of course. But you guys there, you understand that now you're a brand name and you have to live up to a new standard.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. We believe in the Christ up there, and we most definitely pray about it and got the chaplains and things like that. But we just know that ball only take you so far, so it only lasts for a little bit, and we just gonna have fun while it's here.
Great. Caden Salter, folks. As you can see, we have 5 very deserving finalists for the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award. With that being said, it is time to announce our winner. So let's find out who's going to win this beautiful trophy. Christian, your turn to shine, young man.
Cool. Before we announce the winner, I wanted to give a couple of special thank yous. One to Cindy Smoke. Her work throughout the fall is relentless. And we're very appreciative for all the work that she does, communication with the SIDs, the weekly player nomination list. I think it's something that separates us. With her efforts, we're able to highlight the supreme talent that's coming out of the state of Texas. and you watch ball on Saturday, you watch ball on Sunday, like there's some real talent coming out of here. And I think for what this award means, not just to the city of Tyler, but for the entire state of Texas, it's a special thing. The people that make up our voting body, sports writers across the nation and different sports personalities across the nation, we're appreciative for their efforts as well. Lastly, thank you to all of our sponsors. I think people see the award and the gentlemen that are sitting behind me, but I think more important than the football stuff is the impact we're able to have on people's lives. The young lady that was our scholarship winner, I think is a pretty cool reflection of what our family stands for, what the Campbell last name means, and we're able to pay it forward. But without the sponsors, we wouldn't be able to send kids off for higher education. So a special thank you to our sponsors. We're open for more sponsors, and continue to give as much as you can so we can help kids continue on to higher education. So thank you guys for that. Okay, so our winner for this year's Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award, it's a pretty cool deal for me because I'm Earl Christian Campbell II, and this man has a Roman numeral behind his name as well. Ollie Gordon II, Oklahoma State.
Like I said at the beginning, I wouldn't be here without God, my family supporting me, my coaches. I want to thank everybody, Mr. Earl Campbell for inviting me, Mr. Earl Campbell team for getting us here, hosting this great event. I want to thank my coaches, my teammates, everybody. This event was real cool. Congrats to the other athletes. A lot of great athletes come through here, and I really appreciate this award.
Congrats. You got it. You gotta hold that big boy. Congratulations to Ollie Gordon II. Tremendous season, and I'm sure he saves a little bit for this upcoming season as well. To all of you, thank you for joining us this evening for the 11th annual Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award. A virtual presentation of this year's ceremony will be available on our website, earlcampbellaward.com, or on Facebook next week. Again, I echo Christian's thoughts. Thank you to this year's sponsors, who we will see again after our goodbye on the screens here. Also, please, on your way out, take another look at the auction items. And on behalf of Earl Campbell and family, Sport Tyler, the Tyler Area Chamber of Commerce, the City of Tyler, Brookshire Grocery Company, I'm Brian Jones. Thank you and good night. Ollie, let me get a picture.